It broke my big toe at the joint and my whole foot was just completely bruised and looked disgusting. What's going on, my fellow colleagues? This is the third and the final installment of my series that I've been doing where I explain my 5 worst injuries between this age and this age. So let's do it. But before we do it, can you please subscribe and turn on post notifications, otherwise you will miss all of these Storytime Sunday videos. Thank you very much. Also go to www.allroundbymaitland.com and get yourself some merch. A new shirt has just been released because you guys wanted it. Yes, that is Jess's face. She ruined all my clothes and now I'm selling the shirts. Now, let's talk about my 5 worst injuries between the ages of 20 and 25. Actually, it's 19 and 25 because I decided to chuck one in from when I was 19 as well. Sorry. The first one was when I was 19 and I got bitten by a redback. That's the basics behind it. If you don't know what a redback is, it's a pretty poisonous spider. One day I was about to go to the gym, had my pre-workout, put on my shoe, felt like a little sting. I was like, oh, an ant bit me. Took my shoe off, shook it out, and a big ass redback dropped out. I wasn't too stoked about it. I was pretty pissed at him, so I squashed him. And then I went and told Jess and I was like, it, I'm gonna go to the gym. As I was going to the gym, my foot like started sweating and shit. So around the bite, there was like a circle around it and it started sweating profusely for some reason. It was super weird. So we ended up going to the doctor because as I was growing up, I always got told that redback spiders were really deadly. So I was like, oh, I may as well go there and maybe they'll give me like an anti-poison venom fucking shot or something like that. I went to the doctors and they were like, okay, well, we have to take you to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, and then when I was at the hospital, I had a little mouthy mask thing on to breathe, a ventilator, whatever that is, for oxygen for some reason. They come out and they were like, look, we don't need to give you anything. So I just went home with a sweaty circle on my foot, jacked up on pre-workout because I couldn't go to the gym. Anyway, here is another one from when I was 19 years old. Jess and I have been together for a long time. I was at her mum's house with her one day and we were gonna cook her mum dinner, and I knew how to cook rice better than Jess did because that's all I ate was rice. So I decided I would jump up off the couch and jump over the couch to go and help Jess cook the rice. When I jumped over the couch, my pinky toe got caught in behind the couch. Such a fucking dumb story. My pinky toe got caught in behind the couch. I flipped over the couch and my pinky toe stayed and just snapped. I snapped my little pinky toe on the couch trying to help Jess cook food. It's her fault. It's basically her fault. Number 3 is when I was 20. As you know, last week, one of my top 5 was getting diagnosed with celiac disease, and I said that it's fucked up my life for a very long time. It mainly fucked up my life when I was around the age of 20. I never used to listen to the whole celiac bullshit, and I used to eat all the bad foods that I wasn't allowed to eat. It ended up fucking with me really badly. My insides were just destroyed and I ended up being bedridden for like 3 months, I think it was. I lost like 10 kilos of weight. I looked fucking disgusting, more disgusting than I do right now. It was just a terrible, terrible time in my life. That's why I tell you that celiac disease definitely is the worst injury or illness, whatever the fuck I've ever had in my whole entire life. It is not good. It is not good in my hood. Next, when I was 23 years old, I was at work one day and I used to hang things called jigs. So a jig is basically a pole, and on the pole you have a hook at the top. The hook hooks onto a belt and then goes down the belt. On this pole there is little hooks that stick off like this. Sharp little hooks. One day I grabbed one and picked it up and it got hooked into my shin. The hook just basically went straight up into my shin. There was paint, dust and everything all over it, rust and shit. So ended up having to go get a tetanus shot and stuff like that. And now it's just left a nice little scar on my leg. All right, and number 5, when I was 24 years old, I broke my big toe. Some of you may have seen this video. A lot of you may not have, but it was for a video. I got Tyson to run over my foot in his car. He accelerated a bit too fast, the wheel started to spin a bit and it spun on my foot, and when it spun on my foot it broke my big toe at the joint and my whole foot was just completely bruised and looked disgusting. If you go and watch Roll for Freedom, you'll see it on that. It was on that video, Roll for Freedom. And before I leave, a quick little bonus one is my wrist. I broke my wrist recently when I was 25. That was last Christmas. I broke my wrist. I've done a whole video on that though, so if you want to know more about how I broke my wrist and the whole story behind it, then you can go and watch the video titled how I broke my wrist. Anyway, I'm gonna go have dinner now, so I'm gonna leave you alone. But before I leave you alone, as I said, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and go to www.allroundbymaitland.com and cop yourself some of Jess's face on a bicycle with a silly helmet. Anyway, I can take my hat off and throw it at the camera again because you've already seen what my hair looks like by now. Ready? I'm still not used to it, it's so f***ed.